Bishop Jefferson, who's a faith leader here. I think I interviewed you back in 2016, actually, in your church. Yeah. And something you said, really stood out to me. You said we got to take our power back.
That's it.
Because this all started with your power being taken away through unelected emergency managers.
That's right. It started in 2011 when they came up with the Emergency Public Act 4. And we got petition signed. We needed 152,000 signatures in order to get it on the ballot. And we got 215,000 signatures from all over Michigan because the Public Act 4, which is the Emergency Manager Act, affect Michigan, not just Flint. We were one of the hardest hit because of the water crisis. And we voted in November 2011 to repeal Public Act 4, and it was voted unanimously to repeal it. And that was November the 6th, to be exact, because it was my birthday. And in December, less than 30 days later, they came up with a lame duck session and came up with Public Act 436, which just tweeted a few words, and it still had the same law. And so Rick Snyder wanted to be the head cheese in charge, and it was one person. And they would put emergency managers. And matter of fact, when they were going to bring the emergency manager in Flint, Michigan, I asked them what was their plan. They didn't have a plan. I said, well, if you don't have no plan, why we can't manage our own finances? And there's not one place where the emergency manager came in and made it better. They left them worse. Detroit, Flint, Benton Harbor, Pontiac, wherever they had emergency manager, that dictatorship, they sold off all the assets. And when they sold off our assets, I went in December 2012 to tell them, let us run our own city. After they had gave away. They sold stuff for $1 or gave it away.
Tried to privatize it too.
Privatize it, yes. And after they gave away and sold off all our assets, and then they told us, and I said, you have to have assets you have to have finance to run your household. You give away everything that's bringing us money, what do you think? They even gave away to Santa Claus. So, everything. Atwood Stadium, it's been in our community for years. As a child, I went to football games. Our schools played there. And they took it and gave it to Kettering. Then they redone it. If they could redo it after they gave it to Kettering, why they couldn't redo it? They gave away the service center, and then we still paid the heating bill. Do that make sense at all?
What's amazing to me about all this is we see so many other communities, whether it's water problems, air problems, soil, schools. But I've always kept covering this because I believe if government could get away with poisoning the people in Flint, then politicians elsewhere are just going to use the same exact playbook. You guys are going to have events with other communities, but why should people know that what's going on still in Flint affects them? Why should people know that it's not just about Flint, it's about all communities? Because
what affects me affects you. And like you said, if the government find that they can do it to us, then they're going to do it. And not only did they do it to us, but they did it and got away with it. They got away with it and everything. So therefore, nobody is held accountable. So if I can throw a rock, break a window, tear the house down, and it don't matter, then so what? And they think we're vulnerable. They think that don't nobody care, but I care about my city. I care about my state. I care about the people here. And I have not, let me clarify this. I have not been silent. And the reason why the water crisis was exposed was because the grassroots organization. It wasn't the people in office that exposed who they was. It was the grassroots, democracy defense, caution, water, what are you fighting for? We are the ones that exposed what was going on and what they did. Not the mayor, not the city council, not the county commissioner, not the governor. We did it. And we showed up and we told the people not to drink the water. We helped them buy water. And we supplied places where they could come get bottled water. More than one case at a time.
Can I ask you, the media doesn't really cover Flint that much anymore, so I want to make sure people know the still crisis. Cancer rates are very, very high here. Specific cancers are through the roof, and sadly you have teenagers who were young kids when this happened. Now there's a lot of teens that taking their own lives.
Should be graduating, they not graduating. And the youngest suicide victim, five years old. At 5 years old, what do you know about living? What do you know about taking your life? Please tell me. Please tell me. And there's been teenagers that have continue to commit suicide this year. And nobody's paying no attention to it. We talk about the effects of lead. It affects your brain. It affects your mentality. And I know my grandson is 18 now. That was affected badly by lead. And if he hadn't had such a vast support system, constantly, you can do it. It's going to be all right. You can do it. You just have to work a little harder. You can do it. Even he was supposed to graduate last year, and he hasn't graduated yet. But he gonna graduate, because I keep telling him, you can do it. And I don't care how long it takes. I want my diploma. And he said, Granny, I'm working on it.
So as far as working freelance for this, I've been doing it for about a year.
And he's not the only one. It's just more personal to me because it's my grandchild. But it's happened to so many more, and I figure if I can expose it about him, it will help somebody else.
And what's your message to the federal government, who the EPA claims the water here is safe now, the city says the water's safe, they say that Flint is in a recovery, and now it's about rebuilding trust. What's your message to President Biden and all the senators and all the politicians and all the media who say this is from the past, it's not still a crisis?
I know my mentor really doesn't
I think the message is on your face.
Trust is earned. And if you haven't fixed the problem, how is it fixed? If you haven't replaced the pipes, how is it fixed? If you haven't changed the system, how is it fixed? I mean, it's evident. It's evident. You haven't done what you got the money. But everything and everybody else was more important. And so you have not fixed the pipes.
I'm not a religious man, but talking to you might make me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bishop.